I received a message. I'm gonna respond back to this message. It's titled "Ronda Rousey attacked in movie theater." I'm gonna read the message. It says, "Ronda Rousey was attacked by two men in a movie theater. She tried to leave, but the men were blocking the door and keeping her stuck in the theater. After one of the men grabbed her by the neck, but she ended up winning the fight and getting away safely. The two men went to the police department and she was the one who got arrested. But later, security cameras were checked and she was let off the hook. What do you think about the situation and how would you avoid this?" Um, I think this is an example of what I've been speaking about for quite a while now, is that real violence that happens on the streets, in real life, it's not a fair fight. You see, this is a woman that got attacked by two men, and you know, usually when it comes to real fighting on the streets, you have to usually fight more than one person, and it's never a fair fight on the streets. There's no such thing as a fair fight. The person's not going to be like, "Oh, you're a woman, so I won't attack you," or "Oh, you're small, so I won't attack you," or "Oh, you're not the same weight as me, so I'm not going to attack you," or "Hey, you're older than I am, so I'm not going to attack you," or "You're younger than me, so I'm not going to attack you." No, people will attack you if they want to attack you, and if they want to use weapons, they'll use weapons. And the reality is that no matter if you're a competition fighter, no matter if you're an Olympic athlete, no matter if you play in the NBA, the NFL, or if you're an actor or actress for Hollywood, or a singer, if you're somebody famous, your life is in jeopardy because of jealousy from the people around you. Everywhere you go, you're gonna have to be on high alert. And just because you're a competition fighter, it doesn't make you any safer than other people who are famous. You know what I mean? Because the reality of the real violence out there in the streets, it's dealing with guns. The next story is, hey, Ronda Rousey gets shot and killed. Because that's what really happens. And there's really not much you could do to stop that other than just, live a more private life away from all the drama. They shot and killed Tupac, because for him, he's always out there. He was out there, he didn't care. He didn't try to live a private life. He just did what he wanted to do, and then he ended up dying. The President of the United States, he has Secret Service. Without the Secret Service, they'll get him. But with the Secret Service, they protect him. The decisions that you make and what you do in your life will have a big influence on whether or not you will stay safe. Just not too long ago, somebody sent me an article about the Renzo Gracie guy that got in he ended up fighting with a bouncer, bullying the bouncer, and then the Renzo Gracie dude and all his friends got arrested. Well, fact of the matter is, a martial artist should not be in a bar. He should not be in a club. A martial artist should basically be spending time with his family in privacy. Like someone like Jet Li, you don't see him all over the tabloids and all over the news and getting arrested and doing stupid things. Mike Tyson was another one who's just all over the tabloids, getting caught up for rape, getting in fights all the time at the bars, people attacking him. People are attacking him all the time. Just because you're the so-called heavyweight champion of the world, you think people are not going to attack you? There's a bunch of people out there that they don't care who you are. They'll kill you due to jealousy. And for them, it's worth it. They want to be known to be the one that killed Mike Tyson. the one that killed Tupac. They didn't even find the person that killed Tupac, the one that killed Biggie Smalls. You know, like, they want to be the well-known person that killed somebody that everybody, like, looked up to. Like, your life could just end at any moment when it comes to real fighting. You know, real violence. So, these people that are competition fighters, they're marked. There's going to be everybody all over that want to challenge these people, and not just challenge them, but potentially want to hurt and kill them. You know, because that's the reality of how it really is, you know. When you got fame, when you got money, that's what everybody wants out there, and they're going to come get you when you got that. You know, so you just got to make better life decisions. As far as avoiding it, it's just like, well, she went to the movie theater, you know. It's not like she was at the bars or the clubs. A movie theater is just a movie theater. But maybe she shouldn't have been, you know, so open about, like, who she is. You know, maybe she wears a hat and some shades or something, and nobody knows who she is, you know. But if she's walking around with her friends and, you know, she's got a t-shirt on that she's with the UFC, and, you know, she's, you know, basically advertising to the world everywhere she goes that she's Ronda Rousey, then, hey, you know, she better have some protection. She better have some bodyguards if she doesn't want to get attacked. You know what I'm saying? It's like having, like, you know, basically, so if you have a $100,000 wedding ring, and you let everybody see it, you're just increasing the chances of somebody stealing it from you. You put it in your pocket, nobody even knows you have it, then they can't really steal it because they don't even know you got it. But, you know, you got these people out there that are famous. You know, the more famous you are, the more you gotta watch your back. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful where you go. And when you do go somewhere, you know, don't make too much noise. Stay protected. You know? But this is an example of the real violence, you know. Men against women. Or women against men. You know, it's like, that's what the women really need to prepare for, is how to survive against a man. You know, and the men really have to prepare for how to survive against, like, multiple people, and, like, people with weapons, and people that don't play by the rules. You know, the guy's got a bat, the guy's got a stick, and he's trying to hurt you. He's got a knife. He's trying to hurt you. What do? That's what this competition fighting doesn't prepare you for. They don't prepare you for that. You know, against 5 people running after you, what do? They don't prepare you for that. You know, I mean, like, they don't prepare you for, like, learning how to, like, de-escalate a situation with, you know, the way that you speak. And, like, learning how to, like, control your ego so you don't, like, encourage people to want to hurt you. You know, so... And another thing is, in the real life, in the real world, the police will pretty much always get involved. They always get involved in some way or another. And then the courts get involved, the lawyers get involved, the judges get involved, and then you got to worry about prison time. I mean, you can't just ground and pound somebody just because. I mean, be ready to go to prison for a long time if you ground and pound when you're not supposed to ground and pound. You know? Or if you break somebody's arm and it's not justified, be ready to go to prison for a while. Be ready to pay out a bunch of money, you know, because you decided to get in a fight. You know what I'm saying? And then be prepared for what might happen to you in prison. I mean, be prepared for, like, corrupted police that may try to get you arrested when it's not even your fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, the reality of how it is in the real world, violence is something that we want to stay away from at all costs, unless absolutely necessary. You know, it's not something that's supposed to be glorified to you know, that, oh, you know, this is cool, this is something we should do, you know. And it's never a fair fight. And you see these fighters in the cage, in the ring, they're nobody special. Like, they could die just like everybody else. And they had to realize that, hey, they have a lot more to lose than everybody else. They got the money, they got the fame. And when they go out there in the real world, that's what the people want. And they're going to want to take that away from them. So somebody like Mayweather, making like $50 million a fight, $90 million a fight, all it takes is one bullet for his whole life to end, and then he loses everything. You know what I'm saying? He might be driving a car that's like $500,000. All it takes is somebody with a gun to go up to him, blast his head away, and then drive off in his car. I mean, like, there's no amount of training that you could do to protect you from the real violence out there in the streets. So these people, no matter if they're a basketball player, a football player, or a cage fighter, they're all, like, their lives are all at risk. And once they start to realize that, then they're going to start protecting themselves and be like, you know what, let me not go here, or let me stay away from these people, because these are the people that can get me in trouble. Or I could end up getting hurt, or I end up losing my life, or I end up going to jail. I mean, in the real world, the people don't care who you are. They'll take you out. They take out John Lennon, take out Tupac, took out Biggie, took out Malcolm X, took out, they'll take out whoever. The more money that you have, the more fame, the more they're going to come after you. And it doesn't matter how great you are in competition fighting, because out there in the streets, it's about the guns, it's about the multiple offenders, and they're going to catch you slipping. So these people have to realize that this competition fighting is just entertainment. Ronda Rousey is not too different than just like an Angelina Jolie or like a Beyonce. Well, not too different. I mean, Beyonce is a lot more famous and has a lot more money than Ronda Rousey, and Angelina Jolie has a lot more fame and a lot more money than Ronda Rousey. So, I put it like this, the more fame, the more money that you have, the more that you need to be protected. You might have to hire bodyguards, or you might have to be strapped yourself. You might have to have the bulletproof vest on. I mean, you're gonna have to walk around ready to kill. And it's about the guns. It's not about, a fair fight. It's not about putting on the gloves and putting on the mouth guard and putting on the shin pads or putting on the cup or whatever you want to put on. It's not about, hey, let's follow these rules and tap out. No, I mean, this is like, hey, no rules, anything goes. You go to jail, you die, you pay out thousands of dollars because, you ended up killing somebody and you had to defend yourself in court. The police get involved. The media finds out about it and now it's blasted all over the media. I mean, this is the real stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's not pretty. So that's basically what I gotta say about that. I mean, you think the men out there, the violent men out there, really care if you're a woman? And you think they're gonna leave you alone? No, you step into their playing field as a woman and you say, oh, I'm a great fighter. You think the men out there aren't gonna show you, like, who's really good at fighting? They're gonna come out there and take you out, because like, you know what, you're coming into our territory, and this is something that this is where you don't belong here. We're gonna show you who's really the ones in control in this territory. You know what I mean? Like, these people out there, They don't care. You know, I mean, a lot of people have attacked Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's gotten in a lot of fights outside of the ring. You know, and these people are, you know, they got nothing to lose. Everybody that's famous, everybody has money, they got lots to lose. You know, you got $50 million in the bank. You live in a big mansion. You driving nice cars. You tell me you don't got nothing to lose? Or you got some idiot on the street just living out of a box. Just got out of jail. Ready to go back to jail. He's got a gun. Hey, you know, let me just kill somebody. Go back to jail. Go back to jail. That's where all his friends are. That's where he gets free food, free shelter. He don't mind going to jail. But for the people that got the money and the fame, they got everything to lose. So the more money that you got, the more fame that you have, the more you're going to want to protect yourself. And when it comes to protecting yourself, you're talking about the guns. And that's the reality of real combat. And that's something that they don't show you in UFC. Because they don't keep it real like that. Their slogan is that, you know, this is as real as it gets. That's a bunch of bullshit. You understand? As real as it gets, Tupac getting gunned down, Strip of Las Vegas, Bruce Lee dying, you know, suddenly in the bed, Brandon Lee getting shot and killed when he's making a movie, and who knows if that was arranged or not. Michael Jackson dying out of nowhere because the doctor gave him too much of some sort of medicine, which that could have been arranged. That could have been an arranged assassination right there. Osho basically getting assassinated by the FBI, by them like putting radiation under the bed that he was staying at within a prison that they forced him into. I mean, they have very intricate ways of killing people without making like a big deal out of it. Like they put radiation in Osho's prison cell bed so then it would destroy his body through time and it'll die earlier. And then it can't be traced back to them. You know, they could have arranged to poison Michael Jackson with the doctor to do that. They could have had that actress poison Bruce Lee. You understand? I mean, it's like they've found very intelligent ways of killing people without making a big deal about it. Send a girl over to Tupac's, you know, party, and then have a girl accuse him of rape. Now he ends up in jail for 5 years or however long. I mean, I'm telling you, it's very, in this world, when it comes to corruption and violence, it's dirty. And everything that you see in competition fighting, it's all a fantasy. None of that stuff is real. So that's my response to that. So the people that support FMK, click like, click subscribe, share my videos. Got this new channel up, Freddy's Modern Kung Fu Incorporated. Alright, please visit this new channel. And as far as my old channel is concerned, it might be deleted or terminated, who knows. But I got this new channel up. Check it out. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everybody out there that's been supporting FMK. And I'm thankful for, you know, the supporters. As far as the haters are concerned, I'm going to tone down my expression. I just want to do my own thing. You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone, and let's just keep it at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try my hardest to be a little more professional and just keep it doing our own thing. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like U.S. doing their thing, China doing their thing. You know, we'll just leave each other alone. You do your thing. The MMA community could do their thing. I'm gonna do my thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's it. People already know how I feel about everything, so I don't want to create unnecessary beef, unnecessary drama. But that's that. But if people send me questions, I'll just answer the questions honestly. People ask me what I think about this or that. Just be honest about it, what I really think about it, you know. But I'll just control my expression a little bit more to not encourage too much conflict out there. So thank you for all the supporters, and I hope you enjoyed my feedback.
This is Bob with Bob's Leatherworks in Raleigh, North Carolina. I said in previous videos that I would make a new video when I made something new or different, and here we have something. Now, I make a lot of cowboy fast action rigs, but this one is a straight up not over the belt drop loop Buscadero rig. This man wanted something that looked like the Paladin rig, and it does have a few things in it that are like the Paladin rig, which I will show you in a minute or two. I just want to show you a couple of other things about this gun belt before I get into that. Now, this is a big man. He is a size 52. That is why this belt looks so long, because it is long. Okay. Now, he wanted 18 bullet loops, 45 caliber, and I discussed that with him about whether to put them on the center of the belt or over on the right. And the practical part of it is that when you are loading your gun from bullet loops, you want to be able to reach over with your right hand, pull the bullets out, and you're going to be holding your gun in your left hand with the gate open. So that is why they start out right behind the butt. He didn't want a Ranger Star Concho, so I put a standard buckle on here, and the Paladin horse head to put into a holster is not easy to find. I've seen some of them that are really cheap, and it calls for a different design as far as attaching the front of the holster to the back flap. Now, there is two aspects actually, on this holster, details, features, whatever you want to call them, that are just like the Paladin rig, which was made by Arvo Ajallo. His daughter still makes all of his rigs and more in the Hollywood shop. She picked up the business after he retired and passed on. So let me show you two aspects right now. First of all, I'm going to take the gun out of here. Oh, before I do that, I almost forgot. This man has a new model BLACKHAWK, 4 5/8. My gun is an old model Vaquero in this holster. The cylinder and the where the rear sight is on a new model BLACKHAWK is not inside the holster. So I used this gun to make his holster. The cylinder size and the trigger guard set are very much the same, and I also left the bottom of the holster wide open so that the larger sight will work its way into this holster with no problem. He's going to bring his gun over when he comes to pick up the rig, and I'll set it in there for him. So out comes the gun, and I'm going to put it off to the side. Now, here are two of the features, one of which you can see in this Paladin rig. If you look at the belt connector up front, it is squared up and machine sewn down. Now, I didn't use the same sewing style that Ajallo did. He didn't even put sewing on the outer edges of his belt billets, but I do that. Now this is one solid piece, and I put the edge on it. It's very hard to video black. There it is. So you can see the sewing. Seven holes for the buckle, and the sew around here for the connection up to here. All right. And that is the same as the buckle area right here. Okay, sewn all the way around and then connected here. Now I use Chicago screws to put buckles on so they can be changed. I also sew it on so that if something happens to it, it can be removed and repaired. Okay. Now, a very big difference between an Arbo Ajallo holster and the way I make them is this. If you look at this picture, which you can find on the internet, in fact, if you search for Ajallo's rigs, you'll find this picture. This is probably the way the buckle connector was on Little Joe's holster rig in Bonanza, Michael Landon's rig. And this is a very tricky, looks very simple, but it's a tricky way to put a buckle on the end of a gun belt. The reason is that this little piece right here that you're seeing, this one right here, is what this represents. This is where the gun belt comes in from underneath, slides through and makes a connection. However, if you'll notice, this one is sewn all the way across this area. So you can take your piece of leather and machine sew this part right here. Also, the buckle is hanging over the end, which allows you to pull it up, get it out of the way, and the sewing machine can come around. But the other one, you can't do it that way. You would have to leave this seam open and hand sew part of this. And I didn't feel like doing that. The advantage of having the buckle this way is that there isn't as much rise as the belt billet comes through in here. So he took the extra time. I don't know whether this is a patented detail or not, but for me, I don't believe this is as strong as the way I make them. So that's just something for you to know about how Ajallo made his rigs. And there is a pattern design, a cutting design for making holsters that you can see in probably thousands of gun belt rigs that were made for Western TV from the late 50s on, or the middle 50s on. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. If you look at this picture of the Paladin rig, okay, you will see that right in here, from here to here, right above the horse head, okay, I'm holding the belt on the table so it doesn't go falling on the floor, and I'll bring this a little closer in a minute. You can see the shape of how this comes through here and how this cuts down here, and you're looking at it straight on. This holster, let me get it up. Okay. I made this rig just as exactly like I could of this style. Boy, that's going to be impossible between the white and the black to see both of them. Well, it's not a bad way to compare it. But if you see, this is a drop loop style, comes through here. There is no sharp cut down. Well, that came out easy to see. There's no real sharp cut down in the front. And if you watch an episode of How Gun Will Travel, you will see that this is exactly the way Paladin's rig was cut. If you look at it straight on from the side, I'm trying to get it to where you can really see it. There you go. The light is hanging off the edge here. Okay, there it is. This comes through here and cuts back around there, and then this comes down through here. This piece comes, or this cut comes through here, right, and around there, and hangs in the ledge. So let's compare what I just showed you, see, to this picture. Having black and white in the same image is going to make the camera go crazy. So I'm showing it to you this way. Right above the horse's head up to the cut in the belt where the holster goes through, or the slot where the belt goes through. So on this rig, again, I used standard holster strap. Let me get this up out of the way. Standard holster strap. Here's the man's initials, PB, and my stamp. That's the way the rig looks from the back. Let me get putting it back together again. Alright. So, gun goes in. This is my version of my hammer thong right there. And we got an old model Vaquero and a new model. And a new model BLACKHAWK rig. So there you have it. Okay? So, if you're a big man, I can make a rig for you. If you want a drop loop, this is how it's going to look from here to here. If you want more of a cut, that's not a problem. I can cut down in through here and give you a faster draw rig. Faster draw holster. So that's it for today with this particular video. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye bye. Oh, and by the way, to learn how to order, you will see that information on the end titles. And I want to make one more comment. My website still needs to be updated. So I made it in 2009 and it's got old prices on it. Everything's up for about across the board around $50, except I lowered prices to $20 for the CFDA and SAS badge holder. So I don't make them as the same way I used to, and it's a pretty quick make. So I make your badge holder in the same die set that I make your gun belt rig, and they match. So that's it. Thanks for watching and have a great day.